It was supposed to be just another weekend visit. A father picking up his daughters, three little girls who still clutched stuffed animals when they fell asleep at night. But when the deadline for their return passed, their mother's panic set in. Hours later, deputies would discover the father's truck abandoned near a remote Washington campground. Inside, blood. Outside, silence. And somewhere, three children were gone without a trace. This is the case of Travis Decker, a decorated Army veteran turned fugitive, accused of murdering his own daughters. A case so disturbing, so heartbreaking, it gripped not only the quiet communities of Chelan County, Washington, but the entire nation. Emily, 9, Grace, 8, and Sophie, just 5 years old. Three bright, joyful sisters, each described by family and teachers as inseparable. The kind of kids who made friends instantly, who loved playground games and drawing pictures of their pets. Their parents, Travis and Melanie Decker, had been locked in a bitter custody battle following a divorce that was anything but peaceful. Friends say Melanie worried constantly about Travis's behavior. While he had once been the stoic, dependable soldier, years after his service left him restless, paranoid, and volatile. Still, a court allowed supervised visitation. But on that October weekend in 2025, those safeguards weren't enough. On the night of October 19th, Melanie called 911. Her daughters hadn't been returned. Deputies soon tracked Travis's truck to the Rock Island campground, a rugged patch of wilderness where he had often camped during his military days. The sight inside the vehicle chilled even seasoned investigators. Divorce paperwork ripped to shreds, small traces of blood staining the seats, and plastic bags in the back. Hours later, a horrifying discovery was made. Hidden in the dense woods, investigators found what appeared to be remains. Bones, fragile, heartbreaking evidence of lives cut short. Though DNA confirmation was still pending, the implication was clear. The manhunt for Travis Decker ignited instantly. FBI agents, state police, K-9 units, and even helicopters swarmed the forest, combing through nearly 250 acres of unforgiving terrain. Theories spread like wildfire. Had Decker fled into the mountains, drawing on his military survival training? Had he harmed himself to avoid capture? Or was he still out there, watching the search unfold from the shadows? At first, some speculated he might not be responsible at all. Could someone else have taken advantage of his custody weekend to stage a crime? But the evidence, the blood in the truck, the timeline, and Decker's disappearance painted a chillingly clear picture. For investigators, one question loomed larger than all the others. Why? Experts described Decker as a man consumed by loss of his marriage, loss of control, and potentially fear of losing his daughters to custody rulings. A toxic mixture of resentment and desperation may have pushed him to an unthinkable act. If he couldn't have his children, no one would. For Melanie, the mother, grief was compounded by guilt. Friends recalled her saying, "I trusted the court to protect them. I thought supervised visits meant they'd be safe." The community rallied around her, creating makeshift memorials with flowers, teddy bears, and candles at the courthouse steps. Even seasoned investigators admitted the case broke them. One officer told local reporters, "We've seen tragedy before, but three little girls? It's the kind of thing that keeps you awake at night." But the investigation wasn't straightforward. For nearly a week, search teams scoured the area without finding Decker. Bones found near the campground raised questions. Were they the daughters, or perhaps animal remains mistaken for human? Forensic labs worked overtime while the public anxiously awaited answers. Each new day brought rumors, sightings of Decker in nearby towns, abandoned campsites, even whispers that he might be hiding among survivalist communities. The possibility that he was still alive and dangerous added a terrifying edge. As of today, the case remains open. Forensic testing is still underway on the remains recovered, and the official confirmation of their identity is pending. Travis Decker is still considered a fugitive. The FBI warns he is armed, highly trained, and extremely dangerous. For the community, the impact has already been devastating. Parents clutch their children a little tighter. Custody disputes feel more frightening. And Melanie, now left without her daughters, has become the face of a mother's worst nightmare. Whether Travis Decker is alive in the woods or whether he has already met his end, the unanswered questions keep this case at the forefront of America's true crime landscape. And until there is closure, until the full truth is revealed, the haunting words of that 911 call will echo. He's going to kill me. This is not just a crime story. It is a story of love lost, of innocence stolen, and of a community forever changed by the night divorce ended in blood.